Wow, Finn, this has been a very unexpected and awesome interview. I've really enjoyed our conversation.
I've really
Because,
enjoyed it
I've always
too.
wanted to get to know you a little bit better. You and Paul have always had like a good relationship,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then there was a bus ride with Aurora.
Yes.
Yes.
And a
to
plane trip.
Buffalo, I
Yep,
think.
yep.
Plane.
Oh, and a plane. Plane and a bus?
Yeah, plane on a bus, yeah.
All right. And I remember the first time I met you at NXT because for some reason I had your list of names. And I was like, hey, it's so great to meet you. And, blah, and I've got this list of names for you. And I think it maybe caught you off guard. I'm not sure.
It definitely caught me off guard.
Because your reaction was like, so like, I didn't,
I'm
I
like,
clearly
where do I put
like,
my hands? Do I-
and I didn't mean to put you in a bad spot, and then I felt real bad that like I put you on the spot.
Well, it was kind of a funny time because I came into NXT and like obviously had to like change my character, change my name, change everything. And it had been a couple of weeks being at the Performance Center like without yourself and Paul being there. And like I was dealing with like people that were employees of the Performance Center and they were giving me their input. And I'm thinking like, who is this guy? Like he doesn't really, I don't know him. He doesn't know me. I've been doing this 16 years.
Right.
Does he even know this
who
business?
I am? Yeah.
And it was just very confusing and very like I didn't know who the boss
And this was
I
for
did-
weeks?
It felt like weeks. It could have been 2 weeks.
Where
Right?
were you?
Yeah.
Where were you?
And I remember like the first TV taping I was at when you and Paul were there, everything became like so much more clearer. It was just like I knew who to speak to get the answers. Like everyone was like, maybe, maybe. Let me check. Let me ask. Let me see what they say. But
Frustrating.
then I just had like a
Clear line.
yeah,
Yeah. But always better.
much better,
Much better.
much better.
Cut out the middleman and all
I actually got a funny
scenarios.
story.
Okay,
Yeah,
please.
which I don't think I've ever told in public.
Oh, really? Oh, drum roll.
So we're in Full Sail and we're in like that parking area at the back of Full Sail,
Yep,
like,
I know
which
that
was kind
area.
of like the outside of Gorilla, like the backstage.
Right. And then there was like the other school where there was the auditorium.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then behind that, the movie set.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm between the auditorium and the Gorilla.
Okay.
And I'm talking to Mr. Regal and to Paul. And I guess Sami Zayn is over in the background, just observing, because we're good buddies and he's kind of observing. And I'm talking with Paul and we're having a good conversation. I said, I've got all these ideas and blah, blah, blah. And he said, oh yeah, just text me them anytime. And he gives me his number. So I take out my phone and I put in the number. Then like, as I walk away and I go back over to Sammy, he says, did you just get Triple H's number? I'm like, yeah, he just gave me his number. He said, whoa, bro, I'm so proud. It's like, when you see your friend at the bar getting the number from like a really hot girl. And I go, so proud for you, bro.
That's hilarious.
Do you know what's funnier is that's exactly what I thought of when you were telling the story.
Yeah.
With minus the Sami Zayn
Yeah.
part. That's so funny.
Yeah, and everything became like a lot easier from that point forward when I just had like a direct line of
Right.
communication. There was no
and
like
you
middlemen.
knew he had a clear vision and definitely
Exactly.
knew who you were and brought you in for a reason. And
yeah,
here's what it
yeah.
is.
Because I remember also that same day, it might have actually been the same conversation that led to the phone number exchange. Was when I signed with WWE, everyone said, oh, you're going to be the Irish Leprechaun, you're going to be Hornswoggle's tag team partner, you're going to be a cartoon, like you can forget about doing all those body paints, you can forget about all that stuff. And so then I'm at the Performance Center, there's no real answers, no one's really in charge, so everyone's kind of saying maybe this, maybe that. So I'm just doing my training and keeping my
Right,
head down.
right.
And then when I finally meet Paul and have the conversation, we're talking back and forth and we're with Mr. Regal, talking about just like wrestling and Japan. And then like Paul just kind of like folds his arms and he says, so tell me about this body paint. And I remember just going, okay, maybe we
Yeah.
can do it here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how kind of it got started.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
But what's the original body paint?
So the original concept behind the body paint was I'd been squeaky clean white meat babyface in Japan for a long time. I'd recently turned heel and I was against a new up and coming babyface, Kota Ibushi, who's an incredible athlete. And it was Wrestle Kingdom, which is WrestleMania of New Japan. And I'm in a singles match against him, and my idea was that I wanted to be like light versus dark, like good versus evil. And my idea was he wears like white gear. So then I thought like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if like it looked like from the people who are way up in the back, it's just a baseball stadium, if it looked like he was wrestling against a shadow. So I was just gonna like paint myself completely like head to toe black paint. So it looked like from the people far away, he was wrestling a shadow. And in the time that I came up with this idea and we actually executed it, it morphed into like more of a demon look than a shadow. But that's kind of where the idea was spawned from.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It came from being a shadow.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to figure out ways of taking away what the fans recognized as the babyface. So the first idea was like wear a bodysuit, but Justin Thunder Liger wore a bodysuit, so I
Right.
didn't want to go that way. And then that was kind of, so what if I paint myself? That was it.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So it's just,
Have you ever gotten into mythology?
yeah. So actually, the name Finn Balor is based in mythology because Balor is the one-eyed demon king from Gaelic folklore, and Finn McCool is it's very similar to David versus Goliath, where Finn McCool is the David in this story, and he slays the one-eyed demon. So I put the two together.
Together.
Yeah. Because I remember that list that you're
Yeah.
talking about of names.
Yeah. You didn't love them.
No, but and you know what? It's super funny.
scared of
I've
you.
never said this to anyone else. One of those names, and Paul was especially leaning towards this name, was Liv.
Really?
Liv.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, he's anything but consistent.
Yeah, and I can't remember other names that were on there. I had actually Rue was RUX was on there.
Oh, I think actually I remember that.
Yeah, but
That
then
probably comes up.
Paul said no. People think of RuPaul.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember him specifically saying that.
Was thinking
You guys look a lot alike.
RuPaul. I don't even know who he is.
Oh yeah, no.
Is it a drag queen or something?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes,
Like
and he's
the-
African American and like
Okay.
like a big person, big personality.
Oh,
like
yeah, just
could
like me.
not be more opposite.
He's like, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Do you remember any names that were on there?
Not really.
Oh, McGregor was on there.
Really?
And this was before Conor had like really blown up. It was actually, he'd had the fight in Boston where he won, but he injured his knee.
Okay.
And it was just after that. And I remember thinking, no, this guy's going to be a megastar. And I don't want to have like the same like name as,
Would you love to have a match against him?
oh, absolutely.
Right? That would be a good one,
Absolutely,
I
yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you be on his side? Would you be the devil on his shoulder?
I think I'd definitely rather be on his side than
Yeah.
standing face to face with him, that's for sure. And I want it in a wrestling ring, not in a cage.
Got to be on your terms.
Yes.
Yes. You write the rules. Well, this has been really awesome.
It's been super fun.
Thank
yeah.
you
Yeah.
so much. Yeah, I've loved.
I do hate talking about wrestling. And we didn't talk really about wrestling at all. Yeah.
Well, and so actually, I do have another question. I'm sorry, this cough has
Yeah.
been a problem the whole time.
Yeah.
I haven't known where to hold it. I've held it this
Yeah.
hand. I put it
get
here.
kicked.
Switched it. Try to drink it like around the microphone. It's just been awkward the whole time. I see these guys cutting. Like I go to take a
Yeah.
sip, I see it's ISO on you.
Yeah.